and welcome to the latest Betway eCricket challenge. Now, with real-life cricket being suspended around the globe, we've decided to get some stars from the game to start flexing their competitive muscle as they take each other on in a 5-over match, with definite laughs, banter, and for one of the players, bragging rights if they get that win. Now, today is an Ashes special with Glenn Maxwell representing Australia taking on Stuart Broad of England. Now, joining me on the desk, he is self-proclaimed Cricket 19 champion of the world and also brilliant all-round esports commentator Mark Hatcher. Great to have you on board. You're still sticking with that self-proclaimed title?
I mean, self-proclaimed only because I beat you in a 5-over game, Tom. So I think that pretty much encapsulates everyone who probably has possibly played Cricket 19, so I'm the champion of the world. OK. All right, you're starting strong, and I like that. Listen, Mark, it's an Ashes. Now, anyone who loves cricket knows how important the Ashes are. So for you, this is an exciting day.
Whenever England and Australia match up, whether it's on the real pitch, the virtual pitch, you know, if it's in a bar, in a pub, wherever it might be, there's always that rivalry between them, right? Two great nations and two great sporting nations, and this is going to be fantastic today. We're seeing Glenn Maxwell, Stuart Broad, an explosive batsman against one of the best bowlers in the world, of English all time as well, on the virtual pitch, a place maybe they're not quite as comfortable, so it's going to be very exciting to see what the results are. OK, now for those joining us for the first time, Mark, can you quickly talk us through the format of how it is going to work in this 5-over? Yeah, so we're not messing about. 5 overs, like you say. It's 5 wickets you have in hand as well, and basically that's pretty much it. You have to score runs as quickly as possible. Standard one-day international rules along the way. So 5 overs to get runs on the board. You mix up your bowlers. You've got to use 5 different bowlers as well. So you're going to have variations in pace, in flight, in spin. It's going to have everything that you could possibly want in the longer format of the game really squished down for some exciting gameplay. OK, so when we talk about tactics, as we know, the Ashes, loads of tactics go into it. Who are you going to bowl? What would probably the sort of tactics that we'd expect to see today? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. What I would suggest is to the players, treat it like you would a real game. A lot of the features in Cricket 19 sort of carry over, and they're trying to recreate a lot of what you see on the limited overs field, especially in the international games. You're going to see options to vary your bowling pace, your line, the type of delivery that you're bowling. So mixing it up, keeping yourself unpredictable with both bowling and batting is a key to success. All right, well, listen, Mark, both of these players today have already played before, but they had very different outcomes. Glenn Maxwell beating Liam Plunkett in his match, and Stuart Broad, well, miserably losing to Andre Fletcher. So we're deciding to call this today a Stuart Broad redemption possibility. Listen, if you missed that matchup between Andre Fletcher and Stuart Broad, this is a recap of what happened. I'm excited about this one. West Indies taking on England. Andre Fletcher versus Stuart Broad. Stuart, that looks like a fantastic gaming chair.
It's a very comfy gaming chair, yeah. I'm happy to play a test match if you want to do more than 5 overs aside.
Andre Fletcher, I saw on your Instagram, you've been making an amazing banana bread.
Yeah, I love baking. I can send you the recipe, no problem.
The winner gets the recipe.
If that is the case, the recipe will remain with me, you know. Brody, are you ready?
Oh! Hold him! He's cleaned him up!
And it's a good bit of bowling. Every bowler likes to see the stumps go.
Remember the banana bread recipes on the line.
He's gone for it again. Is it up in the air? He's gone. That's 2 in 2.
I'm on a hat-trick. The Spiceman is in.
It's not an easy pitch, this, you know.
I realize. Also, I realize it's not that easy to play against me also.
Another full ball. Oh, he's gone for the reverse sweep.
You're trying to reverse sweep a fast bowler. That's disrespectful, man.
Oh, he's got him. He's gone.
Look at this.
That's a beautiful ball.
And this has been an absolute nightmare for Stuart Broad.
He's on a roll.
There we go, get through the gap.
Oh, he's found the gap. It's running away.
Lovely stuff.
Well,
with one shot, Stuart Broad has almost doubled his score.
Yeah!
I've got to review that.
What about his downfall?
I've got to review that.
You two in flight, brother.
Slide. Slide.
Is this going to be a genius review? Impact in line.
Oh, Umpire's cool! He's bowled! Middle stump! Good night! Stuart Broad! Well, this is an unremarkable score here.
I should have researched the buttons before we started. Shouldn't I?
5 to win from 22.
Oh, he's got a wicket!
Oh, he's had a shocker there. He's had a shocker.
You think it's time to end the game?
Oh!
And there is that shot. It's in the air though.
No!
Oh, but he dropped it! It's down!
Why is he not picking it up?
Oh no. This is going from bad to worse for England and Stuart Broad.
Only 2 needed to win now. And he has managed to pick up a wicket.
Should be on a hat-trick.
2 more runs to win. Andre, are you looking for a boundary to finish the game?
Yeah, for sure. I want to finish it off in grand style. Why?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Stuart!
no.
Not like this.
Two away springers, then 1 in, and it just went too far.
So scores level then. And he has gone for the big shot. I don't think he's got hold of it. Oh, what a catch! Oh!
Beautiful.
Oh no, what's happened there?
It's a no ball.
Oh my words, the game is over because of a no ball. So there you have it, the highlights, if you can call them that, from Stuart Broad taking on Andre Fletcher. And I believe, Mark, that we are now joined by Stuart Broad and Glenn Maxwell. So we'll start a little conversation, first of all, with Mr. Stuart Broad. Stuart, there you are. I have to say immediately, a different gaming chair. Is this going to be a bit more of a lucky venture for you?
Yeah, you brought back some bad memories showing the highlights from the last game. But I've made a few technical tweaks in the nets, and I'm feeling a lot more confident today.
Now, I didn't want to bring it up again because we've only asked one question so far and we've already brought it up, but have you been practicing since the defeat last time? Have you been putting the hours in, or is it just a case of waking up and feeling like a new player today?
See, before a test match or a series against Australia, you wouldn't really talk about your training techniques. So I don't mind talking about that after the game, but I'm not going to give too much away pre-game.
OK, all right, well, I like that. I like that competitive edge to you. Stuart, now, we know that you always save your best for the matches against Australia. You're taking on Glenn Maxwell. Is there a bit of a history between the two of you, or is this just a normal outing for you today?
I don't think there's any history. I've always been relatively friendly. He always seems to like reverse scoop me over third man for 6 whenever I play against him. So there's not much you can sledge or say about that, really.
There you go. Well, listen, Stuart, I know you're all set up. He's not giving anything away, Mark. So let's meet his competitor today, coming off the back of a win. The one and only Mr. Glenn Maxwell in the building. You've already beaten one England quick. Are you ready to take down another?
Yeah, look, I think this is going to be a little bit more difficult than Liam was. Liam was clearly out of his depth, but I think Stuart, after just having a little net session before, I think he's ready to go.
OK. Beautiful stuff.
I just wanted to ask, have you got a few, a little bit sledging up your sleeve? Because there was a few things sort of back and forth between you and Liam Plunkett. Is Broady going to expect some of the same, or are you going to play a little bit more Mr. Nice Guy this time round?
No, well, I had a lot more dirt on Liam. I don't really have much on Stuart. He's far too clean cut. And I haven't had to face him in a Dukes ball game. So it's all pretty friendly between us two, so I'll probably keep it that way today.
OK, and obviously, if Justin Langer does say, Glenn, it's all... Banter's fine. Banter is fine.
You've just got to know the line and just don't cross it. So you can headbutt that line as much as you want. Just don't cross it. So I'm going to stay well clear of the line today.
Oh, brilliant. I didn't know if you would fully quote Justin Langer, but that's beautiful. Now, Mark, there was something about the running between wickets you wanted to ask.
Yeah, have you been practicing the running between wickets? Because last time we saw you have a little bit of a problem, and maybe getting caught outside of your crease and basically moving 2 feet up the pitch and not being able to get back quite in time.
Yeah, I was just trying to test on the fielders, and turns out that wasn't a great idea, because that was the one thing Liam couldn't control was the fielders, and they were spot on. So, yeah, I think today I'll just concentrate on hitting boundaries and not running.
OK, well, listen, I know that Stuart's going to have to be very careful in the field. I mean, I watched just before we chatted to you the Joe Root run out. Unbelievable scene. So I'll tell you what, Stuart Broad has to watch himself today. We'll chat to you in a bit, Glenn, because, Mark, they're going to get down to us. You can feel that tension building between them. But I feel like this is going to be in the name of fun.
I mean, initially, sure, yeah, but these are international sportsmen we're talking about here, right? Give it a couple of balls, give it to one of the players to set a total, and I think all of a sudden you'll see the fire start to be lit again. It's to be expected, as I say, two top elite level sportsmen here. This is going to be friendly to start with, but expect that to change pretty quickly. All
right, well, listen, Mark, listen, thanks to the guys. I can't wait to get into this competitive tension that is building. Let's head over now to the all-important toss. Right then, Mark, we head down to Old Trafford. Is this swinging in the favour of England already?
I mean, they've got a good record here. The history certainly would side with England. And maybe, I wonder if Stuart Broad had a little bit of an influence over where they might be playing. But yeah, Manchester is going to be the location. Old Trafford, the ground. And England versus Australia. It's always got something special about it. And we've got two of the best players from their respective countries going up against each other. It's going to be an exciting match as we see that England have won the toss, which is exciting for me because of how Stuart Broad kind of struggled a little bit last time. We'll see if he bats or bowls. He's going to go and bowl. What's the thoughts behind that, Broady?
Longevity of game, to be honest. I feel if I can make early inroads, to be honest, Old Trafford doesn't normally leave much green grass on. I'm just hoping that those clouds behind the scoreboard just offer a little bit of swing.
Now, Broady, I believe I'm right in thinking that you've brought yourself into the team today. Is that right?
Yeah, I've given myself an opportunity 5 years after my last ODI appearance, just to see what I can do. You know, you never know. Big game, England versus Australia. Just fancy a few wickets.
Well, listen, great to have you back in the blue shirt, Broady. Listen, Glenn, you know, England had the call on the toss there at Old Trafford. What are your thoughts going into this one?
Yeah, I thought it was always going to be a bat first wicket, so not too phased there. I'm looking forward to making the most of the new ball, that's for sure.
All right, well, listen, we'll let you get into your headspace because, guys, as you've heard, England won the toss. Broady is going to be bowling first. We'll find out how the match gets in when we come back right after the break. Welcome back to the Betway eCricket Challenge here from the Gfinity Arena. We've got an Ashes match ahead of us. We've got Glenn Maxwell of Australia. He is into bat, taking on Stuart Broad. He's going to kickstart with the bowling. So listen, match is ready. It's poised. Let's get to the action.
Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Old Trafford is where we're starting off. And just to remind everyone who might be watching for the first time of the format here, 5 overs per team. Each team must use 5 different bowlers as well, and you only get 5 wickets, so you've got to think about how you want to attack the game.
Yeah, strategy is going to come into this one. Starting with Chris Woakes, do you reckon... Whoa! It's a huge hit from Maxwell. We expect that from him.
Yeah, I think you are going to say, is that a good sound strategy? Well, by the looks of it, Chris Woakes might be struggling because Glenn Maxwell has timed that like a peach, straight over the mid-wicket boundary. 6 runs.
So what would be the tactics, talking of Cricket 19, what would be the tactics of bowling the perfect over?
I think it's very similar to what you would do in real life. You've got to mix up your length, you've got to mix up your lines, you've got to keep the batsman guessing, and, you know, mixing up your pace as well is a big part of the game, as we can see the first wide of the game being given. Maybe Glenn Maxwell's kind of forced Broady to push it outside the off stump after hitting that ball through mid-wicket so well. Well, that's another monster shot. This is Glenn Maxwell at his best.
Yeah, Broady, listen, what are you doing with your bowling line here? What's going through your head at the moment?
Yeah, he seems to be striking it quite well at the minute. This lockdown seems to have done his gaming some favours.
Glenn, just dispatching the bad ball or some good balls there. You're feeling like you're very in tune at the moment.
Yeah, going okay. Oh, no. No.
I think, Glenn, you can blame Tom for that one. He set you up beautifully with the commentator's curse there.
This is why you shouldn't talk on the mic while you're batting.
there you go, Brody. I've helped you out there. You set the field, but I think it was really down to you. Did you do anything differently there?
Well, I mean, Chris Woakes is one of the best new ball bowlers in the world in white ball cricket, so I told him to get back to his basics, bowl to a field that he wants to bowl to, and try and get the batsman hitting in an area that they're uncomfortable with, and we saw the plan worked.
Yeah, but Glenn Maxwell is coming into bat now. Mark, this is where it gets juicy.
Oh, he's got it. You don't run for that.
What a shot that is.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting the respect from Brody there. Respect. What a hit that was from Maxwell.
That's good bowling, that.
Fantastic over to get into this little mini Ashes.
Yeah, and it's a lot of runs on the board. I mean, I think he's already pretty much tripled what Stuart Broad managed to get in his last outing. So Broady's going to have that in the back of his mind as well. But it's going to be Mark Wood now in with a little bit of pace and going in short early on here, trying to push him back. I think he's realised that maybe, you know, Glenn's hitting it pretty well off the front foot down the ground. So yeah, not a bad change up in the tactics there.
A good change up in tactics, but just a frustrating when your fielding's not picking up on those and you're getting those cheeky runs. That'll dent Broady's confidence, surely.
Yeah, you want to build pressure in any game. If it's in the real pitch, it's on the virtual pitch. That's what you're looking to do. And a nice kind of recovery coming in here a little bit from Brody. He seems to have found a little bit of a rhythm here. Well, it's dug in again, and that one is up in the air. Can the man get to it? It just falls short of him. But it seems like Broady's decided that maybe the short ball is the option here. He's getting a little bit of bounce, he's getting a little bit of lift off the pitch, and it's a little bit more difficult to time. So using the pace of Mark Wood well.
Now we're getting the viewpoint of Glenn Maxwell, what he's facing.
Oh, yes. Shot, Maxie.
6 runs over cover. Beautiful shot there from Glenn Maxwell. And again, it's 6s or it's nothing pretty much for Glenn Maxwell. And I love that fact. He's been so aggressive with the way that he's taken it on. And I'll be honest with you, I thought that was a pretty good ball. It was a wide Yorker right up in the block hole. But, you know, doesn't matter when you're Glenn Maxwell.
I love the fact that Glenn's cheering himself on. Well done, Maxie.
Nice, Maxie. Someone's got it.
6s or nothing for Maxwell. That's been the commentator's line for 10 years.
So last ball of the over. Mark Wood in again. Goes full, goes straight. And speaking of going straight, he goes straight back over the bowler's head once again. And that is out of the ground.
I tell you what, that's landed in the train station, that.
That is huge.
Spinner comes on, Mark.
Oh, catch that.
Oh, hello. Again, the curse of the commentator, it's happened. A wicket for Brody. He was just buttering him up then.
Yeah, just buttering him up, and that's the change of pace that I was talking about. Rashid on a little bit of flight. Doesn't quite get the timing right, and that's the difference.
It's such a typical innings of garbage.
Cheerio, cheerio, cheerio.
All right then, so Mark, left armour comes in, left-handed batsman, sorry, and changing of the field from Brody, but it worked last time.
The difficulty here for Glenn Maxwell, as I say, is the change of the pace. Once you get your timing down on the game and you get comfortable with the pace, a little bit like in real life, all of a sudden you've got to change how much you wait for the ball and you've got to find that timing again. So changing up the bowlers, changing up the pace of the ball is going to be huge here. And Adil Rashid is doing a good job here for Brody. He's keeping it tight.
Yeah, he's definitely bringing that
No.
run rate down and another wicket. Brody's happy with that.
I mean, I've got to respect the attempt to go over the top again from Glenn Maxwell. I love the fact he's trying to stay on the front foot, trying to be aggressive still. Realises that there isn't a lot of balls to play with in this 5-over format. But Glenn, you've got to remember, you've only got 5 wickets to play with here, so you've got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, I tried to pick my fielders there as well. I picked the weakest fielder on the ground, and unfortunately, he held one on that time. But still got plenty of batting to come. Stoinis is a powerful hitter, so I'm backing him to finish innings for us.
And here comes Rashid again. push down the ground, and it will be at least one here, probably a couple.
You don't have a mid on.
There'll be a couple.
I do, but I think it's me fielding there, so I just let it go to the...
Another spinner coming in, I believe Moeen Ali now.
Another good length ball, and again, just struggling for that timing a little bit here. And I'm just looking at Broady's face cam here, and you can just see this little wry smile coming across his face. It's like he's worked out the key to the game all of a sudden.
I've got the feet up, just relax.
Oh, hello.
It's got to go up in the air again. Oh, what a catch!
No!
Taking it over his shoulder. And again, the spin works the oracle here for Broady.
Glenn, is this just a timing issue, or is there a little bit of a crumbling here from the Aussies?
Oh, I just think the wicket's pretty conducive to spin. We've got obviously a poor lineup against spin there. Finch, no, he got out to pace. He's good spin. Linney, terrible. Maxwell, terrible. Darcy, pretty average. So, yeah, we haven't been very intelligent. We've got the specialist sweeper in Ben McDermott now, so hopefully he can get us out of this mess.
All right, we leave it then for a second. That run rate is coming right down, Mark.
Yeah, the run rate's coming down. Oh, the reverse sweep comes out of the boot. I mean, I was just about to say to you, Glenn, you've got one wicket remaining. Maybe you want to try and maybe take this a little bit slower? No, first ball, off the mark, reverse sweep through the covers. Beautiful stuff.
So, go on then, Stuart. This is the big decision you have to make as a captain. You seem a little bit forlorn.
Stuart, have you ever bowled a little bit of off-spin?
No, Stokes is quite good at his off-spin, considering, but it was only one choice. Remember Rooty in the World Cup final in the 2020? He got 2 in the first over, didn't he? So I'm just backing him.
Broady's worked something out here that's worked for him, and it's brought that run rate right back down to something a little bit more manageable, and it's the England Test skipper.
Oh, my word.
He's been given the responsibility with the ball and a dot ball to start with. It looks like this might have been another good shout here from Broady.
Oh, what is going on here? It's going around the wicket. He's trying to jam me up. Oh, jam that up.
Oh, we take those.
Freebies. He's getting freebies. Glenn, have you ever faced Joe Root in real life?
Yeah, I faced him at the Gabba, and I think I hit him for 4 consecutive reverse sweeps for 4. So I might be trying to do something similar here. Oh no, I never did that. It went for 4. So obviously this isn't very real life, life. So
this is it then, Mark. Last ball. It started off with fireworks, and they've sort of dampened out, haven't they?
Yeah, went hard, went early, but as we do see the last ball come in, it's going to be fired into the legs. He does go for the big shot. And, oh, he did try and steal a run.
It's gone to review.
Broady's given it.
I can safely say that's the worst innings ever in a 5-over game. He was none off 6, I think.
Clawed it back. I'm pretty happy with that.
So there you go, Mark. We come to the end of the innings for Glenn Maxwell for Australia, posting a pretty competitive score. As we said, the fireworks started early, but it did dampen out. Well done to the bowling of Stuart Broad. Will it be enough for the win? When we come back after the break, we'll see what Stuart Broad can do with the bat. Welcome back to the Betway eCricket Challenge, where we have an Ashes game on our hands right now. And Glenn Maxwell, representing Australia, scored 46 all out. We are waiting to see what Stuart Broad can do with the bat. But Mark, in terms of that first innings, it had a bit of everything. Glenn Maxwell got off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, got off to an absolute flyer. We saw sixes disappear into all parts of the ground, but we have to also give some credit to the way that Stuart Broad sort of pulled it back towards the middle innings, bringing on those slower bowlers, bringing on the spinners, spinners, and that's where really we saw that run rate, which was really starting to get out of hand in those first couple of overs, decelerate and become something a little bit more manageable.
Now, did you find it as surprising as everyone else will that Stuart Broad decided not to bowl himself in the last over?
I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? There's two ways to look at this for me. One is he was having a lot of success with the spinners, or he was terrified that his own bowling figures weren't going to look particularly good. So he decided not to bowl himself, or maybe let everyone else decide what the reasoning was behind it. But I think it was probably a smart decision looking at the results.
OK, well, listen, as well as taking on each other, we want the players to take on our very own challenge. Now, this was created by Mark Hatcher himself. The players need to score 15 runs off of 1 over. That is 6 balls. Can they do it? It's a tough challenge. And stepping up first to the plate is the one and only Mr. Glenn Maxwell. So here we are then with Glenn Maxwell getting ready to take on the challenge. Don't forget, 6 balls to score 15. How are you feeling about this then, Glenn?
Yeah, this is going to be tough work. Woakesey's pretty good bowler. 6 balls, got to be pretty good.
I mean, 6 balls for you is normally more than enough to get this amount of runs. Usually you're one of the most explosive players in the world. But with a start like that, have you just put the pressure on yourself a little bit more?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. I went a bit conservative with the shot choice then. Won't be making that mistake again.
Second ball of the over then. Good length, goes over the top. Has he got enough of it? That's the big question. It looks like there is a fielder under it. And it's been taken.
Wowzers.
Trouble.
I did not expect this, Glenn. What was that, a timing issue, or do you just want to get Glenn Maxwell into this game?
No, it was just a poor timing issue, just way too early. But you're right, it's time to get myself into this game.
Get him in.
Come on, Maxie. Here he comes. Right-handed batsman in. 4 balls left to score 15 runs, Mark. This is going to be hard.
It's going to be tough, but the field is up straight, which is something that I'm looking at. Covers up as well, so there is an opportunity to maybe score some runs, but it's only going to be 1 here. As he didn't quite get the timing right again on that shot through the covers, but run on the board at least. The last thing you want to do in a run-chasing challenge is end up with no runs on the board, so at least there's something to work with here.
Oh, he's walloped that. Has it got enough on it? No.
No is the answer. The wheels are coming off here.
They're well and truly off. I'm relying on a bunch of extras now.
Oh, I don't mean to bring it up, Glenn, but that's a golden duck. Have you had many of those? I didn't think that was the right question, but I was just trying to build up spirits for everybody.
It's certainly not my first, and it won't be my last.
OK.
Right then, as you said.
This has been poor. Boundaries are a bit big. Must be at the MCG. No, we're up the stadium.
Well, let's see if we can get some boundaries. Or is this going to be 3 and 3? Oh, no. I'll tell you what, whoever's fielding there at mid-off is doing an absolute job. Everything that's got his way has been taken.
This is poor.
Aaron Finch now gone.
I blame Finchy for that. He got us off to an average start. And we just have not recovered.
So, as you say, relying on extras now to try and find a way to get into this game. Does he go big on this last ball?
Oh, no.
Oh, is that a hat-trick? It's a hat-trick! It's a hat-trick!
Yeah, that's a disappointing lineup, that. I thought with the power hitting that we had, we might be able to get the job done, but turns out not to be.
Let me get this right. That's 1 run scored, Mark. Am I right in thinking that?
That's 1 run. Yeah,
one run.
I mean, but nobody can take that run away from you, Glenn. That's the thing. That run is there forever in the history books. It isn't the completing of the challenge that you would have wanted, but as I say, the challenge is incredibly difficult sometimes. You know, if you don't get that first ball and you don't find that timing immediately, you've only got 6 balls to play with. So if you don't get it right, you're in trouble.
Yeah, Glenn, listen, you took part in the challenge. You didn't come off succeeding and winning it, but do you feel like it was enjoyable, or where's your level of enjoyment in that?
No, I'm angry. I wish I had done better. As soon as this game's over, I'm going to probably try again and make sure I do it properly.
All right, well, listen, let us know how you get on. We will put you on the leaderboard with that score. Thank you very much for taking part in the eCricket challenge there. Mark, I'm flabbergasted. I'm left shocked by that performance from what we expected to be a batsman who is explosive.
Yeah, as I say, it comes down to that first ball. I think in a short format like that with just 6 balls, you have to at least find good timing. In the game, you have, like in real life, you know, the better you time the ball, the more optimal your button press in relation to when the ball is arriving, the more power that you get on the ball. And you could see it there. He was trying for the shots over the top, but the timing wasn't quite there. The shot selection maybe a little bit iffy as well. I've got to give some huge shout-outs here to the man at mid-off. He did not drop anything there for the computer. So good hands, good bowling, and yeah, I think Glenn's going to be a little bit disappointed.
Right, there you go then. So Glenn Maxwell failed miserably in the challenge, but will he do enough to get the victory in the game today? We'll find out when we return. So there you have it then, Glenn Maxwell putting a very, very competitive score. Let's find out if he thinks that's going to be enough at taking on Stuart Broad. Glenn, a cheeky run out there at the end. I feel like you were just trying to grab one extra run. But how do you feel after that batting session?
Yeah, pretty confident. I thought we started off beautifully. Couple of sixes in the first couple of overs, and then they took the pace off the ball, lost a couple of wickets, lost a bit of momentum. But I think any score above 40 is going to be pretty good in this game, I think.
Now, Glenn, just a very quick question for me as well. Do you feel like the pivotal moment in the innings was the dismissal of Glenn Maxwell?
Yeah, look, he was disappointing. He got off to a great start. He could have taken the game away from the opposition. Like most games he plays, he gets a start and then just doesn't go on with it. So, very disappointing.
All right, well, listen, Glenn, let's find out how Broady feels after that bowling performance. There was a bit of celebration. You were waving goodbye to Maxwell. You seem like you were enjoying that, Stuart.
Yeah, I wish I'd have bowled 5 overs of spin now, seeing how the pitch reacted and how Glenn played it. But I think it's a competitive total. I'll need a good start. I don't need to go hell for leather from the start to try and, you know, come into the last 2 overs with 3 wickets in hand. I know he's going to attack me with spin. I've just YouTubed how to hit spin on Cricket 19, so we'll see how we go. 1-6 early doors, the confidence in the change room is going to be sky high.
Yeah, well, listen, we hope to see it. 2 Englishmen here on the desk. We won't say who we're rooting for, but best of luck, Broady.
So this is the innings underway then. Stuart Broad in control of England. Needs 47 to win from 28 balls. And this has been a great start here from Glenn Maxwell. And an early appeal is going to be an early wicket. Perfect start for the Aussie.
Yeah, review it. Use it. Use it.
I get the feeling that Glenn Maxwell might have been trying to bait Broady into that one a little bit. I think he thinks that one's good.
Let's see where. Hit him.
Down leg.
Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. Broady, even you would walk to that.
My view from behind the batsman was a bit blocked, and it looks a little bit more adjacent from the front view.
That's it middle.
That looks out to me.
I think it's a better start than last time, though, so that's positive.
Here we go then, Mark.
Giving it out again. He's giving it out twice. He liked it that much.
He's giving it out with a bit more arrogance this time as well.
47 needed off 27 balls, and it's Glenn Maxwell. I've just realised you've given yourself the ball to open up as well.
Turned out to be great tactics as well. Oh, what was that?
Has he got to go? Has he got to go?
How was that? What? Bit of pad first? No.
Well, the security guard doesn't think it's out.
Just like to point out how good's my hair look in this. I wish I could get back to it. It was a great haircut.
Oh!
Well, surely he's gone to the wrong end.
He's got bowler.
Umpire.
So into the first over.
Yeah,
not the ideal start for England here. However, A lot of time still to go. Billy Stanlake's going to be on. Well, here comes Stanlake into the crease then. He does go full and...
Oh, they've gone for it.
This could be tight. Has to run his bat in and...
Billy, get behind the stump.
I think he might be safe there.
Bloody fast bowlers.
All right, I'm going to have to start making a move there.
At 43 needed from 20 here, Tom. Still very doable. That's the important thing. A couple of boundaries and this could really change, as we do see a nice pull shot here, but there is a man out, so it's only going to be one. But the important thing about that is he started timing the ball, and that's important.
So here we are at Old Trafford and mini Ashes. Aaron Finch comes on, the left arm finger spinner. Mark, this is what we expected, a spinning match.
Pace off the ball again. Pace off the ball again. It worked in the first over. Question is, can Brody adapt? Can he find a way to score runs here? You see mid-off sort of hovering halfway to the boundary. And he has tried to go over the top here, but it's not been hit with too much conviction, and the man has put it down somehow. That was an absolute dolly. That should have been taken 10 out of 10 times.
That was a peach, Glenn. What's happened? Who was that?
I think she's just got one in the block hole. Stoinis runs across.
Oh dear.
Too busy doing some bicep curls and push-ups at mid-off, and it's just cost us really.
Great volleyball player there, as we know.
Yep, very good. So
this one's up in the air again. Can he redeem himself?
Oh, no.
Oh, no! He's put it down again. That's 2 in 2.
I can't believe how early I'm hitting these.
What I love is Brody doesn't care. But he does. He's just perfecting his game. I feel like it's...
Third time's the charm, Tom.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm. Yep. And there we go. Brody's got a hold of one. Is that going to go all the way?
It has.
I think it has gone all the way. Brody, 2 drops in a row. And then he smashes one over mid-wicket for 6. England back in the game.
Wowzers, I tell you what, the innings needed this, and that has made Stuart Broad stand off the gaming chair, celebrate.
What a shot that is.
.34 needed off 15 now. Things have changed, and now he tries to go over the top again. Surely this time it's got to be taken, and it is going to be taken.
Well done, Stoney.
3 times the ball was in the air. 2 times it was dropped, but 1 is finally taken. That's been an eventful over, you have to say, so far.
That over has had everything. Glenn, that must be a little bit of relief after Stuart managed to get a maximum there.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried about bringing Finchy on, but yeah, the decision was vindicated in the end, and got the big wicket of Root.
32 now needed from 11. It's getting almost to that point where it's a boundary of ball. Oh,
yeah,
that's conclusive. 2 stumps out of the ground. Full.
Oh, a little flipper.
Straight.
Oh, boom.
And that could be the game right there. Brody's got to go for these big shots down the ground. His run rate's always climbing. Oh, there's a big appeal here.
Where are you going?
Well, this is still through for a single. Oh, they're going for the second as well.
Where's the bowler gone?
That's top tier running there, Brody. Love that.
Where was he throwing the ball? He had it in his hands.
Wicket keeper's gloves.
No, that one challenge.
Glenn, you really need to get hold and charge of your fielding team here.
Yeah, we've gone a bit slack. We've already started celebrating. Fortunately. Oh, run.
Saying timing early. I'm trying to leave that so late.
What's great here from Glenn, Mark, and I think those watching will see it, the colour of the ball landing is changing. He's mixing up the speed.
Yeah, mixing up the length, mixing up the pace. That's exactly what you want to do in this game and keep the batsman guessing, as we do see Brody finally get hold of one, but it's not going to go very far. It goes straight into the hands of the man, moving around from mid-on to mid-off, and that is going to be another wicket here. As Brody goes for the big shot down the ground, but doesn't get hold of it.
He had to, Mark. He had to start hitting. There's no shame in that, but He's made it very difficult to protect this last wicket. Now, Mark, asking about the game, Cricket 19, you go down the order, the ability of each character you have or player, is it change much?
Yeah, it's like real life. Some players have got better statistics with particular sides of the wicket where they like to hit the ball. They're higher statistics when it comes to timing the ball, which gives you a little bit more leeway as far as hitting boundaries is concerned. And you know, you get down to the likes of your Nathan Lyons, you're not going to be able to hit the ball particularly well, you know, mimicking real-life situations. But Johnny Bairstow, we know what he's all about. And Joss Buttler and Johnny Bairstow, I mean, two big hitters, but they're going to have to go absolutely massive here.
Oh, it's huge.
You don't need to see where the ball is, Broady. I can tell you where it's gone. That's a boundary. That keeps you in the game. We need some more of those.
He's got, I think he's going to bowl 4 wides in this over.
There's a good chance.
So, game on. That boundary changes things just a little bit. We are going to have to see some maximums.
So no ball.
No ball.
Free hit.
No ball. Extra run. Free hit. Broady, things are starting to come together here. Are the wheels coming off for Australia?
If this goes for 6, it changes it.
Coulter Nile into Bairstow.
Oh, it's a wide.
Fires it down the leg side. Is the umpire going to stretch his arms? He is! Another extra. Fields up as well. So Broady can half get hold of one here. It is going to be going towards the boundary, but a dot ball off of the free hit. 150 Ks as well. So moving through the air pretty swiftly. 24 now needed from 3 balls.
Not possible unless there's any
Hang on, mate.
He needs extras. He needs extras. He goes forward. He goes straight. And that is an emphatic way to win the game here for Glenn Maxwell. Unbeaten, Glenn Maxwell, in the Betway eCricket Challenge. Broady, a much better effort from you, though, buddy. But, Glenn, you got to be pleased.
Yeah, very happy. Got the result that I came for. Probably everyone knew that was going to be the result. At the end of the day, it was just surprised it was by 23 runs, to be honest. It's that's a great effort from the Aussie boys, and a sign of things to come in the future, I think.
As we continue these competitions, do you feel like you are the man to beat now?
I think that's pretty clear. If we could just find someone to play against me, that'd be great. But apparently the Poms are no good, and we just need to find someone outside of that group that can take me on.
Indeed. Is there any particular player that you feel like the banter would be, obviously, as we've said earlier, to the line, not over the line? Is there a player out there that you would love to take on?
Well, anyone outside of England, I suppose, that'd be good. Maybe I'll tell you what, the Indians play a lot of PlayStation and gaming console oriented things. They'll be probably up for the challenge. I think someone like MS Dhoni, I think, would give me a good run for my money.
Yeah, I mean, Glenn, you took a wicket. You took his wicket in a Test match. So I find an Indian player that you've taken a wicket of. Would that help you?
Yeah, so there's not many of those that you have to sort of look for. I think there's like, what, 3? 4?
Yeah, Virat Kohli's there as well. But just if you had a preference.
Thanks for reminding me.
Got to respect that.
Thank you very much, Glenn. We'll be chatting to you later on. Stuart, listen, you've heard from Glenn what he thinks. You're a young upstart in the game, coming through. Talk us through your feelings on today's match.
Yeah, a big improvement in the last game, from the last game. I thought it was a gettable total, but I needed a better start. Glenn used the spinners really well, quite hard to hit that. I need to certainly work on the batting side of things. Every time I tried to play a shot, it was coming up timing early, which is probably not ideal. But, you know, 23, 24 on that sort of pitch is a competitive total, and you just need one of your top order to go on, don't you?
Now, Broady, there was a big change in your home setup. You changed your gaming chair. If you are coming back, do you have any more chairs that you can play from?
Well, to be honest, I think it's a comfortable chair. I was told off a little bit for getting a bit too low, but that's when I was bowling well and I got my feet up. to relax. But no, I think I'll stick with this because this was a strong performance and it deserves another go.
All right, well, listen, Brody, I know it took a bit of a beating at one point after you missed a shot, and listen, as long as you're happy, we'd love to...
robust.
Listen, Brody, well done on today. Fantastic, marked improvement. We look forward to watching you again in the Betway eCricket Challenge. So there you go. Glenn Maxwell gets the win. That's the mini Ashes secured by the Australians. When we come back, we'll have some more further analysis. Welcome back then to the Betway eCricket Challenge, where we have just witnessed Glenn Maxwell winning for Australia over Stuart Broad. He prevailed, and I tell you what, that's 2 wins now from 2 for Glenn Maxwell. Unfortunately, though, 2 losses for Stuart Broad. However, though, Mark, he has much improved.
Yeah, marked improvement in his all-round game. I thought his bowling was really impressive. There was that one over which, you know, Glenn Maxwell really started to get hold of the ball, and that was very early on. But you start to recognise some of the things that you can take from your real-life cricketing game into Cricket 19, changing your pace, changing your variations. And I was actually quite impressed with his batting as well, as crazy as that may sound. We have to remind everyone, last time we saw him was 5 runs on the board, and he got that within the first over, I believe. So constant improvement. I think if he gets a few more games under his belt here, Stuart, he could maybe get a little bit of revenge on Glenn moving forward.
Yeah, maybe, if he's allowed to do that. What we will allow him to do is take part in today's challenge. He needs to score 15 runs from 6 deliveries. Let's see if he can do it. Here we are then, Mark. This is a tough challenge. 15 runs off 6 balls. Do we reckon Stuart's got enough?
I tell you what, he's got the ball up in the air, and it looks like he's got the distance as well off his first ball. That is a maximum. Look at that calm, casual, composed. Momentarily composed. A little bit of a celebration does come out from Brody, and quite rightly so. What a perfect start. 6 off the first ball. And all of a sudden, 15 doesn't look that far away as we see the second ball come in, but he's just chipped it straight to the fielder. What a catch that is from mid-wicket.
I tell you what, with these challenges, we wanted some drama, we wanted some action, and we have got it.
Yeah, we've got it, and a similar reaction there from Stuart Broad to what he saw off his own bowling when Ben Stokes at that catch in the gully against Australia. So, yeah, a bit of shock on his face. What a take that was. Third ball then. This one's full and outside off start. Broady's got a hold of that one, though. That one's going over the top, and that's going to run away. So another boundary here. And he's looking pretty good at the moment. Only needs 5 runs now off the final 3 balls, Sob.
Talk to me about this, Mark. In scale of how tricky this challenge is, it could be all over. It is.
I was going to say, what's the easiest way to do it? Hit the ball over the top, clear the boundary. Brody does it. Not only completes it.
He drops the mic.
He's out there. Rightly so. He did it with time to spare. Time to spare.
Oh, well, there goes the interview. Oh, no, he has come back.
Come back.
Brody, that was beautiful. You dropped the controller in a mic drop fashion. Why could you not do that against Glenn Maxwell?
It's a question I'm asking myself. In the game against Glenn, I kept being early on the timing, and I hit the 6th first ball, thought I'd sorted the game, and then nerves, anxiety, I think it all got the better of me in the second. Other players having a go at that and seeing how many balls they need to get the 15 runs, because I think that's a good start.
Yeah, I mean, I was super impressed. To do it with time to spare in the way that you did as well, I think that's something we have to take into account when any other players have a go at it. The fact that you didn't just score the 15, you went above and beyond. I've been pretty confident with that score. I think you could be up there for a while.
Yes, I can confirm, Stuart. I'm hearing from my director, you are top of the leaderboard. Congratulations. Listen, Stuart, maybe this could be a challenge that you could tee yourself up, get warmed up for your next match.
Exactly, yeah. I think I'm just sort of making good strides in the game now. So, yeah, I'm ready to take on my next opponent.
All right, well, listen, Stuart, there you go. Top of the leaderboard. I'll say no more about the context of which, but listen, did an amazing job there. Feel very proud. And yes, finally, a very lucky gaming chair there for you. So don't change anything next time we see you.
I won't. Thanks, guys. Enjoyed it.
So there you go, Mark. Completed the challenge. Epic work. I didn't think he was going to do it, but he managed to do it.
Yeah, completed it in style, I think is the best way to put it. He struggled a little bit with the bat when we've seen him performing previously, but to do it in the way that he's done it, in such exciting style, a 6 off the first ball, I think just gave him all the confidence he needed, and that's all you need. It's the same in the real game, right? You time one early, you get one off your hip, you put one through the covers, you feel confident, you feel like you're in. And it's the same on the game. If you hit one cleanly off the first ball, you find the boundary, all of a sudden you're like, OK, I'm in, and you found your rhythm. So, Broady, hats off to you, mate. Great start, and that's going to be difficult to beat.
Well, there you have it then. Victory finally for Stuart Broad. He goes straight to the top of the virtual leaderboard. That's all we've got time for today. I need to say a massive thank you to Stuart Broad. He'll be celebrating that victory. And, of course, to Glenn Maxwell and to the man on the desk, the self-proclaimed Cricket 19 champion of the world, Mark Hatcher. Mark, have you enjoyed it?
What a fantastic show it's been. Always good to see some of the best in the world competing, and just happy to be able to give them a platform to do so. All
right, well, listen, we'll see you again very shortly for another Betway eCricket challenge. In the meantime, stay safe and goodbye.
Perfect start for the Aussie.
This lockdown seems to have done his gaming some favours.
That is out of the ground.
You seem a little bit forlorn.
2 drops in a row. England back in the game.